guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're back. My name's Heather Salter-Purves and I am a avid reader and getting into amigurumi crochet and crochet in general. This is my channel, The Haunted Shelf, where I'm going to take you along on my creative journey into books and crafting. But I'm also an author of sapphic, dark fantasy and folklore, which takes me into, I am vending at Supanova, Perth's Supanova, the weekend of the 27th and 28th of June. And I have been busy making things. I have 1 week left, but I wanted to go through everything I've currently got that I'm taking with me so that we can dive into it. I do sort of have 3 tiers. So I'm selling the crochet as well as my books. My aim is to try and balance out crochet to get people to come see me, but also just fun toys as well as my books. So I have a sapphic Haze and Persephone with Welsh mythology, her Daffodil Queen, which is the first book in a interconnected duology. The second book is coming out in October. I also have a standalone ghost romance that follows an accused witch who has perished in a forest, and 400 years later an anthropology student walks in and they fall in love. So that's kind of your vibe. I'd love for you to be around more, but let's go in to the bits and pieces I have been crocheting. Break it down into sort of my 3 tiers. So I've got my entry tier, which is $10. It's mostly acrylic items. Then my mid tier, so $15 to $20, $25. And then I've got my middle tier, which is going to be the sweet spot of $15 to $20. And then I have my premium tier, which is $25 to $50. And these are going to be some of my showstoppers. I will also have I will be giving all the pattern designers their dues because their creative work and intellectual property deserves to be respected. So without further ado, I will also try and remember to tell you the hook size and type of yarn I used. This is where I find out I've got so much more stuff than I anticipated. Acrylic. And you will notice that I got onto a bit of batch making, but I kind of just decided I really enjoyed this pattern, and it worked out really well. And that is octopus. So this is the Darling Maple Designs, the Jelly Bean No-Sew Octopus pattern. This was with a 4mm hook, sorry. So these are all 4mm. So this is the Semco double-stranded where I held the yellow and silver together, Semco DK. And then the Mallard Sport Saver from Spotlight as well, 4mm, and then I've stuffed them. And then some mill ends, and it's just a fun sort of multicoloured yarn, give it different vibes. I then free-handed, because I was trying to be fun, a bat. So this is a silver spot saver from Spotlight as well, and Mallard Wings, sort of just seeing how I was going with that. I then used the Stitched by Faye pattern to make some snakes. I held this one double, and this is the Marvel Lilac mix. We've got a Mallard mix. We then have this cutie patootie little one, which I only held, I didn't hold this double, and then I have this one that I need to embroider eyes on because it doesn't have safety eyes. And this, I don't know what this yarn is. I got given it, but it didn't have a ball band on it. And then we went on a bit of a moon kick, and I have 5 moons. So this is a cotton yarn. I believe it's Lily & Sugar, and it's speckled. And then we've just got some grey moons and dark grey moons and some light grey moons. So all my, and then I believe this is also by Stitched by Faye as well, her mushroom pattern. And I've got 2 of those with different tops, and then just a biscuit coloured one for the base. So all my acrylics are $10. I then go on to my velvet or plush yarn chenille. So we've got Stitched by Faye's mushrooms for 15, 2 of those. I then also have 2 world serpents, Stitched by Faye's pattern again, and this is a velvety yarn, and then I've got one just in grey, and then I've got a blobby. I tried to make a frog, it didn't work well, but a bloggy sort of poison dart toad that I'm going to be calling it for 15. That also then takes me on to hats, which is also stitched by 4 of those. This is in a valuable velour grab bag, and it's just like the neutrals. So I've got 2 grey loaf kitties, and then I've got 2 of these like loaf kitties. I know I do need to do a bunch of embroidery on them to do their mouths, but I just wanted to get the bulk done because then I can watch with. As you can see, I went on a bit of a kick, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the Jelly Bean Octopus by Darling Maple Designs. In blanket yarn, mill ends. I used a 6mm hook for these ones, and I will be selling them for $20. So I have these 2, and I believe this is Burnout Blanket Mystical. Actually, you know what, I can't tell you what the colour of this one is. I couldn't find out, but it's Mystical. I then have 2 in what I believe is Cinder Mystical Burnout Blanket, but it came in a mill end. What I've been told is Earth Worn Burnout Mystical. 2 of those, and then just a nice purple. And then that brings us into our premier items, and I have Spark the Dragon, 6mm again, and this pattern is by Dr. Crocheted Spark, and it's using the Burnout Mystical blue and the Earthworn. I know I need to make another 9 dragons in the next week. This took me about an hour and 15, hour and half to make, so I'm trying to knock out like 2 a day and see if we can get there. I then tried another, and this is nothing to do with the pattern. I think it was just how I stitched it together, because I've never done like a big plushie. So these are now my premium sort of $45, $50 items. So first, this is Darling Maple Designs Pocket Bat, which is designed to be made in acrylic yarn, and I used Burnout Cinder, but I think someone will find it a home. It's meant to be a bat. Someone's going to tell me it's a goblin or something. I don't mind. It can be whatever you want it to be. And then I had been eyeing this pattern up for a while, and I decided to bite the bullet and buy it. And I think going forward, this is going to be my bat pattern I like for bigger plushies. And I do need to do the embroidery on these as well. And that is Loops and Knots Bat. So I have a little ghost bat. I just need to do that. And that is just in a white blanket yarn from Mill Ends, 6mm hook. And then I think this is Motivera mill ends as well, in this nice navy, and it's a 7mm hook, but my bats are $45 each. And then I decided, for my love of folklore, to pick myself up Crochet World A Creepy Creatures and Cryptids. It's 40 patterns by Ricky Gustafson, the founder of Crochet by Ricky. I do also have a 6-year-old. I let her choose my colours for this next item, and this I think is going to be my showstopper. I do still need to do its mane, but it's a Kelpie. So just Kelpie. And a Kelpie is a Scottish water horse. They're vicious creatures, they eat, but doesn't it look cute? So I just need to do its mane. This is using that same Burnout Mystical. And then the purple, I also have the green safety eyes on this one. And I'm going to be selling this one for $50. So that is all the things I am bringing to Supanova. I am also aiming to have 9 more dragons to go with my friend here. And potentially, if time allows, I might try and make Red Mill Crochet's Moss Monster, because it's adorable. Or I might make the Loch Ness Monster out of this book as well. Sorry, editing Heather coming in here, because I forgot to mention these. I also have a moon pillow that I'll be charging $20 for as well. It's just nice squishy. And I have made a book sleeve that would fit one of my books, and this one is with like half double crochets and like a 4mm hook. So yeah, bye. But if you would like to come see me, I will be at booth 261 in the Indie Alley Press next weekend. Come buy a book or grab yourself a reading buddy. But thank you. Bye.